Здравейте, здравейте, момци и моми, аз съм Джимер, а това е епизод 9 от поредицата ми на Dance of Death, Джак and Фей. Джак, Фей. Джак, Фей. Фей, Джак. Нарочно ги размених. С което е това балтите палка балата. Което горе-долу си е така, но в случая беше нарочно. Сега тая сърдителен е, да видим.
No, sir. I was just leaving. Such hateful words. How can this be allowed?
The woman should not be judged by her opinion alone.
The woman should not be judged by her opinion alone.
You agree with her?
I do not share her beliefs, but nor do I know her to pass judgment.
Do our words not speak for us, sir?
Our hearts are weighed by the justness of our actions, not the fleeting words we speak.
If that is the case then, sir, stop standing around and do something. I've little more to say to you on the matter. Such fear-mongering can't possibly be allowed. For the spiteful woman, I feel for her child, I truly do. There's so much hate in the world. People forget themselves. You stay here even though I'm a tart. Do you look for a fuck, sir? I can point you in the right direction if so. Do move on.
Оп. Фей. Говори с котарака. Ней. Да видим лудата. Ко прави? Марчи.
Join me, brothers and sisters. Educate yourselves and you shall be free.
Имаш ли си ти другарче?
You there, sir. Please join me in educating our brothers and sisters, in freeing their innocent hearts from the bloody chains that bind them.
Добре.
And how is it that you intend for us to break these chains?
With words, sir. Why, they have more power than any weapon. Tell the people, comrade. Tell them about the revolution. Together we can topple governments. Together we can usher a new world into being.
What's all this about toppling the government?
Constable.
Thought that night in the cells would have taught you some sense, Violet. Sounds like you need longer.
Don't intervene. Не, няма да излъжме.
I will not deny what I was saying. I was indeed talking about revolution.
That's treachery, that is. Back in the cells it is then. How about we make it 2 nights this time?
You could lock me away forever. I will not give up.
And a word of advice. Stay away from this woman. She'll only lead you into trouble.
Мерси за адвайс. Сега тая затвориха и до някъде може би ние сме отговорни, но реших да не лъжа все пак. Тя си каза тези неща.
Spare a penny for some fine blooms, sir? On my word, they'll last you 4 to 6 days. Only the best blooms all in season. Came into Covent Garden this morning, sir. Lovely scented pansies and all for just a penny, sir.
Добре.
There'll be oranges next week, sir. Ripe for the season. Good day, sir.
Тичкаме към... Сега трябва тук да са доковете. А на доковете има... Абе, къде е кучето, бе?
Join the other lads on the stones if you're looking for work, sir. No, didn't think we'd see you back round here. You don't strike me as the labouring type. Well, you could try the vigilance committee for work. They're looking for blokes to patrol at night. Pay a small wage for the privilege. Mile Enders asked me to join. Yeah, because that'd go down well at home. I'm out enough as it is. Yeah, excuse me if you would, sir. I've a job to do.
Прощайте за това прекъсване. Трябваше проверя нещо. Да слушам какво се случва, че отгоре седите по някой път да изперкват лекичко и... Да взема да прецакат записа.
Surprised to see me still alive. No work for me. Not after what I did.
Какво си направил?
You wouldn't talk to me if you knew what I had done. Leave me alone. Please.
Fancy a wager, sir? Old Grim and I have been placing bets on who the foreman will hire. We've lost many a good cigarette that way. Not a gambler, eh? Well, what are you then? Certainly not a man if you don't like to gamble. Off you go then.
Добре, дай ли с кой си поговорим, бе? Трябва да сменим кучето ви име, поне той чайките може ли да говори?
Oi, oi! Look at her, lads! Alright, darling. Been a while, ain't it? Hey, are you even listening to us? We heard the black and whites are taking a fancy to that collar of yours. Be a real shame if anything, you know, happened to it. Good dog.
Отвратителни са тия чайки. Някакви генгста го раздават. Добре. Ти статичните тук не мога да си говорим с тях. Nope.
Hey, John, it's her again. No, not her. Her. The odd-looking one. Her can hear us, can't she? Quickly, John, act normal like. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Don't seem to be working this time, John. Yeah, her is still looking. Well, you ain't being normal like, are you? Look, what do you want?
Look, what do you want? Кефта, живота тук по игрото. Доста ме радват как се направи. Доста по-забавни са ми от хората. Хората са мрачни, но пък живота са готини такива. Повечето. Ще сега сещам за мистер Гарон от първи епизод. Така, имаше доста приятен глас. Дрезгав леко. Мистер Фокс също е пича. Тук бяхме. Това не ще да излезне. С тия двамата не знам дали можем да говорим. Какъв е сдухалата. Такъв нормал. Като жената го е фарала в крачка. Не в случая. Не, той не беше крачка в крачка. Беше ония другия плешивия. Той беше кумърджия. Той има интересен акцент, но не мисля, че той е отговорен. Дънка някакви тропани от време да се чуват. Надявам се да не успявате вие да ги чувате.
What could he possibly want?
If the man is in need of our assistance, it is our duty to...
Yes, I know. Go on then.
Bless you for stopping, sir.
Are you in... what has happened?
What has happened?
Me lost something dear to me, sir.
Then how may I be of assistance?
My father's ring, sir. But then I lost it right off my finger now. I was hoping you may have seen it.
What does it look like?
Gold, sir. With lovely words on the inside there.
It is not that I distrust the man.
It is you who does not believe in coincidence, Fey.
Give the man his ring back.
It was not lost, sir. Rather, it was taken by a couple of feathered scoundrels. Here.
My little precious. Bless you, sir. May I never forget your kindness.
You're most welcome.
I'll keep a close eye on it. I promise.
Супер, радвам се. Радвам се, че му намерихме пръстена на човек.
Is there none more guilty of God's wrath than the Romanists or indeed the Jews?
С това не мога да говорим,
Mutilate his word for their own purposes.
О, бате. То не мога да трябва по-моля другото. То едва го издържам, като минавам покрай него. Теро, папе, я да те подушиме те, да не им смърдиш там на някакви неправилни неща. На магия. Добре, куче. Тушки. На какво ме реши до пето? Някакви музики, някакви неща се чуват тука. Случват се такива работи. Ай, движи се от него, махай се, надалече. Точно пред него ще спреш. Куче, спри да ми... Бате, аз съм контролирал кучето и се чува, защото това куче ходи пред мене. Та, бебе ли държи? Нещастните контроли. Марта Бекет.
Oh, sir, have mercy on a wretched soul like myself. Have you a spare penny? If not for me, for her. Please, sir.
Бих дал, нямам. Добре. Явно тук само това си може вече. Само и BBQ рейв ще се чува. Отивам към уния двете там овци.
Without doubt she carries a trace of monk's blood. This must be her.
rub this on your chest, morning and night. You get going now, dear. I'll be sure to find you later.
You are a healer, I see.
Don't know what you mean, sir. I was just passing something on to a friend. Don't you?
This is a matter of import.
This is a matter of import. I know about your dealings at the chemist. The procurement of certain herbs.
Please, sir, I don't want no trouble.
And you shall have none unless you continue to lie.
I am a healer, as you say. Mostly I treat the unfortunate women you see around you. Like Betty, who you just saw. She has a terrible soreness in her joints. I was giving her something to help.
Do you deny using monk's herb?
Oh, no, not at all, sir. I use aconite for quite a lot of things. Found it good for poultices. The women I see tend to have sores in rather delicate places.
I'm sure they do.
Yes, I am sure they do.
I'm seeing a woman later who suffers. I could show you if you like.
No? Thank you.
Please, sir. If that be all, I would like to be on my way.
You did not want to see the source, Lac? Most unlike you.
I don't take offence at questions, sir. I educate as best I can.
Браво.
It wouldn't be the first time healers have been seen as villains in our history.
Не, спокойно.
We get by as best we can.
Знам, че не си ти.
There ain't a day goes by without work for women like me. Babies to birth.
Дали си замесена, възможно е, но знам, че не си ти.
One that stopped women like me helping folk and pushed those poor souls into the government's hands. Oh, I'm glad to see the back of it. With no decency anymore, sir, no respect for privacy. Excuse me, sir, I must leave to tend my brother.
Добре.
A vile plague upon mankind, don't you think?
Ако се наместим, че нещо съм застанал неудобно. Сега, тук мисля, че нали ще можем да говорим с тези. О! Пък знали човек, трябва да отидем да видим. А, с котката може ли да говорим, ако дойдем тук?
Good morning, ugly. Do go away. I am waiting for the fishman to return from market. You are distracting me. I find it quite unfair that you wretched beasts earn more scraps than felines. The fleshback have no taste. Ah, go away.
Прощавайте за кашлянето. Аз мисля, че в кръчмата ще научим повече неща, но да видим. В принцип бих се отправил директно натам, но все пак. Чува се, няма ли най-накрая да ни отключи някаква друга... някакъв друг район?
Or whatever, one more time. You think I'm going to suck someone in mouth? Ugh, what do you want?
Да ни кажеш кой убиец.
Clo, old Clo. Money for your old Clo. A fine morning, sir. And ain't that the most precious collar I've ever seen on a barker? You wouldn't be in the market to sell, would you?
Nope.
No, I'll have you know, I deal in the finest accessories, sir. Why, just the other day, I sold the smartest hat to a lovely young lad. Clo, old Clo.
Добре. Мисля първо влезем в кръчмата и после да отидем нагоре. Ако се наложи, нали, да отидем нагоре. Тук вляво имаше един чиляк с акцент.
I smell it on him, Delac. He must be questioned.
Добре.
Can't you see I'm busy? I wish to talk, Mr. Henshaw. Is that so, Mr. Jenkins? Or is it Mr. Jalak? Let me know which you prefer.
You flattered me with your interest.
I'm flattered you take such interest in my name.
Only one reason why a man chooses to lie about his name. When he seeks to hide something that will be damning to his character.
Get you another drink, Mr. Leach?
No, thank you, Mr. Waldron.
Now, isn't that interesting?
Да, ма... Добре, да кажем, че кучета имат отлично обоняние.
Especially their sense of smell. Take Fey here. Her nose can reveal so much about a person. Where they might have been, or a particular item they may have touched. A herb, for instance. Like the monk's hood we found at Hanbury Street.
His heart beats faster. He is scared.
The same monk's hood you purchased from the chemist.
You stop right there with your gross insinuations. I had nothing to do with that murder.
You shall pay for your crimes.
Crimes? It was just a stupid spell.
Women have died.
Women have died.
Delac, wait.
You sicken me.
Right, I confess. I used it, but it had nothing to do with Mrs. Chapman.
Then what?
The police. They hide the identity of the villain who spills blood on these streets. I've been trying to uncover this for some time, to no avail. The cocaine helps alleviate my frustration. It has on occasion been known to induce episodes. My mind becomes quite free, shall we say. It was during one such episode I came across the book on ancient spells.
Is that so?
Ludicrous to believe such claptrap, I know, but words have tremendous power, sir.
And you were desperate.
And you were desperate.
Very. Anyway, I awoke thinking it a dream, so set about to infiltrate the constabulary by more traditional methods. Alas, even with the help of an accomplice, that proved fruitless also.
Were frustrations alleviated?
Quite profoundly. That is, when I recalled the spell and where I had secured the ingredients, buried deep in the lining of my overcoat.
Go on.
Go on.
It was no surprise to hear the spell did not work. Far from rendering me invisible, I was exposed like a freak, chanting Latin, holding that crap in my hand. Worst of all, Aberline saw me. Then he declared, behold, the new journalism in all its glory. I still hear their laughter now. Please, sir, you will not tell anyone, I beg you.
I think you have learned your lesson, Mr. Henshaw. Your secret is safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
We should pay Whittock's a visit and find this book.
И двамата имаме тайни.
What do you make of his charge against the police?
Delac, I fear that man's mind is a labyrinth of nonsense from which no amount of thread could help one escape.
Сега само да разгледаме тук Ако можем да си говорим. Nope. Добре, каква ни е задачата? Да намерим странника тоест човек със странния нож, със специалния нож. Не странник, със специалния нож, точно така. Скачим нагоре. Почвам да се чудя дали не сме го пропуснали. Добре, мисля да ходя с кучето. С кучето, защото кучето надушва разни неща, кучето. Това ще хубаво с него. Добре, къде според мен е Чиляк? Който търсим. Видяхме, че не е той. Чакай, дай да отидем до него с кучето, за всеки случай. Той че е от ама не е това. Ареди. Тук сме. Не мисля, че е пекаря, не мисля, че е малкият Чарли, с който не можем да говорим. Тук обаче. Мисъл.
Look, it falls open at the exact spell Leech spoke of.
What does it say?
Burn 3 leaves of monkshood and conceal the ash within a piece of snakeskin. Recite the words, delere te ipsum.
The ingredients are incorrect. It's the seed of the monkshood, not the flower, and the words are wrong too. I have yet to come across one of these books that isn't the work of a complete fraud.
Let us hope it stays that way.
То ще дойде ли сега?
Welcome to Whittock's Wonders, sir. Your time could not be more propitious. I have just returned in possession of the most exquisite item.
'Tis indeed a fine work.
Why does she look familiar?
I believe this to be the very painting upon which Rossetti himself founded the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood.
Of course! It's Nimue!
Oh God. Mother!
Sir?
Doesn't leave much to the imagination, does it?
Yes, she was the mother of Sir Lancelot.
Why, my good man, you have an interest in the tales of Camelot?
More than you... Да.
More than you realize.
Marvelous. I never tire of it. There is more passion and life in those old stories than one would ever find in this day and age.
Повече отколкото разбирате.
Paintings I could see? Quickly?
Why, here are 2 more. An Arthurian aficionado could surely tell me the names of those so beautifully rendered upon the canvas.
Добре. Бур. Това сме ние най-вероятно с Гуинивър. Какво трябва да направя? Не можем да се движим, нищо не мога да правя. Нещо изпускам ли? О, да видим. Нищо не можем да видим тук. Добре. Прекарвам през това време, слагам край на епизода, прочитам си ги и пускам следващия. Така. Въпреки, че ми се ще... Добре, аз ще ги прочета след като сложа край на епизода, но ми се ще поне да видя тук... Няма, че съм Кьоров. Дискъс.
This one depicts King Arthur and his trusted aide, Merlin.
Very good, sir.
They never get Merlin right, do they?
He is somewhat older.
And paler.
I imagine the dutiful wizard offering sage counsel to a troubled king.
Pig-headed fools, the pair of them.
Това можем... Не, това не можем да го дискутираме.
Why, it is Lancelot, Lady Guinevere.
Too easy, sir. Now I come to think of it, has anyone ever said you bear more than a striking resemblance to the illustrations of a certain Knight of the Table Round?
Sir Lancelot? Why, of course.
I knew I was not the first. He is one of the more flawed characters, I believe.
Oh, terribly flawed.
Feisty one, isn't she? I think it is precisely Lancelot's shortcomings that make his character so sympathetic to today's readers. At once both driven by his passion for Guinevere, but also an unwavering duty to his king.
There was no passion for Guinevere. A knight would never forsake his code.
Oh, no, of course not. You are quite right. The consequence of Guinevere's transgressions is a parable many women of today would do well to heed.
I have the sudden urge to loose my bladder on this man's leg.
Earlier, it was not my intent to offend, sir. Throughout time, there have been many reinterpretations of the original texts. For example, it was said that Lady Guinevere was so consumed by her guilt, she took refuge at a convent for the remainder of her days. She swore to never see the noble knight again. As she became grey and neared death, Sir Lancelot made for the convent to see her one final time. But Guinevere was a lady of her word, and, upon hearing of the knight's intentions, the good queen prayed she'd die before his arrival. And so it was. As Lancelot arrived at the convent, he was informed of the queen's death. Lancelot died 6 weeks afterwards, heartbroken. Fascinating, don't you think?
Не, тази история не ми хареса, кой знае колко. Добре, да излезнем от тук и да сложим край на епизода. Надявам се епизода да ви е харесал. Пожелавам ви всичко най-хубаво. Чао, чао и до нови срещи.